ask you about the Trump ruling, which says he is not immune to facing civil lawsuits relating to January 6th. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's going to go to the Supreme Court, Lydia, because it's a radical change from what the law was until today. Until today, whatever the president said as president in the White House was protected. The leading case is a case against President Nixon, who wiretapped someone. It turned out the guy wasn't doing anything wrong. He sued Nixon long no lawsuit. This court found January 6th was not in his official capacity as president, but in still furthering his election campaign, even though the election was over 2 months earlier. And whatever the president does, whatever a sitting president does in furtherance of his election campaign is not his official duties, and therefore he's not entitled to immunity. How they can say that he was still running for office on January 6th when the election had been over on November 4th is beyond me, but that's what they've argued, or that's what they've ruled. A 3-0 ruling, including a judge who was a lawyer in the White House for Donald Trump. I think this is going to go to the Supreme Court.
You know, they're obsessed with going after President Trump. When you look at the national polls, him up against Biden, Biden is trailing him by an average of 2 points. A New York Times poll found that Trump beats Biden in 5 out of 6 swing states. His margin up against DeSantis, it's widening by the minute. And then you have even states like Colorado and Michigan, they're trying to kick him off the ballot. The Colorado judge said, okay, we can keep him on the ballot, but he's guilty of insurrection, even though Trump's never even been charged with an insurrection. So, Judge, do you think this is political election interference at the highest level here?
Yes. Yes, it is. And that's why the court of last resort, for better or for worse, is the Supreme Court of the United States. We don't ordinarily expect black robe, life tenured judges to be resolving these political issues. But somewhere at the intersection of politics and law, when the governmental entities like the Attorney General of New York is using the law to damage Donald Trump, it's all going to end up in the Supreme Court, and I can't predict how it's going to go. Although this decision today saying that these people will consume, ironically, Lydia, the plaintiffs in this case are all police. They are Capitol Hill cops who were injured either physically or financially as a result of what happened, and they want to sue Donald Trump personally for those injuries. All this is going to end up in the Supreme Court.